Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. That's Kendra. She's 14 and periodically cranky. And in my videos quite a bit. Okay, on to the topic. So this is the last video I'm doing, doing an overview of the Crash Course of Black American History, which has 52 episodes. So, and because February is short, I have to cover and overview them in 3. So, for reference, this is being shot in July of 2023, so it is blazing hot outside, even at 8 o'clock at night, which is, when I'm filming this. So each one of these is a introduction to a specific topic in Black American history, and each one of these provides their sources. So they're a great resource and a great way to introduce a specific topic. So let's get going and finish these off here. So we're starting at 35. So episode 35 covers Emmett Till, which is a young kid that was murdered, and then we move on to the Montgomery bus boycott. It's 8 o'clock at night. I have a kid. I'm tired. And it reached 113 today. So next episode is episode 37, which covers Martin Luther King Jr. Then the student civil rights activism, followed by Malcolm X and the rise of Black Power. Then we cover the Black Panther Party. And then the women and the Black Panther Party, which is an interesting topic. Then we cover Marsha P. Johnson and the Stonewall Rebellion. Then we're covering the war on drugs, so we're getting closer to present day, particularly history that I've lived through. Then we're moving on to Shirley Chisholm, who I believe was the first woman in Congress, African-American woman in Congress. She ran for president of the United States as a Democrat, and she didn't win. So she had the congressional seat in New York delegation for decades. So that was her. And then we move on to Jesse Jackson and the Los Angeles Uprising. So this was, again, the 90s. Then we have Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. If you're not aware of this, this was when Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was having what unfortunately was a successful hearing on becoming a Supreme Court Justice, and his rape of Anita Hill, which he probably did. That was hard to watch just because we know what Clarence Thomas is now. Bribery galore. Moving on. Rap, episode 48, which is rap and hip hop in Crash Course, so that's covering that history. Then we move on to Toni Morrison, one of the famous authors. Then we looked at Hurricane Katrina, and one thing to note about this episode, because this is one of the longer, this is about 15 minutes, which is one of the longest episodes. Clint, our presenter here, was a child and grew up and experienced Hurricane Katrina. They left. So it definitely talks about that, and that's very personal to him. The next episode is 51, which is Barack Obama and his presidency. And then last but not least, Black Lives Matter, which is, we've reached present day. So that's episode 52. So each one of these is really, really interesting. They're a great oh, wonderful. I didn't hit the mic. Never mind. Yes, I did. Thought I was speaking. About that. Again, I'm tired. I thought I didn't hit my record button. But each one of these is a great introduction to history as we move into the Barack Obama, and particularly the Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter movement is the present. It is still going on. It is, as far as I know, it is still going strong. It's not as loud right now because Biden is president, and he's not trying to attack them because, he worked with Barack Obama. He was his vice president. So why he definitely has his issues. he was in Congress for a in the Senate for a very long time. Of course, he has his issues. But again, it's not as loud as it was during the Trump disaster. Thank God that was only one term. Unfortunately, it was one term rather than no term, but I'm going to save that. So it hasn't been in the news lately, but I'm going to make a strong assumption that it is still very active because, yeah, we're still not equal here. And the Supreme Court is doing some nasty things, including getting rid of colleges having to admit people of color and having their quotas. Though I have a feeling a lot of colleges aren't going to stop doing that quite as much, but we will see. So, but of course, some of this has to do with bloody Clarence Thomas, who is betraying his own people because he was a spoiled rich kid, probably, and is possibly going senile. Who knows? Like I said, the Anita Hill Clarence Thomas video was hard to watch. Even the Barack Obama was hard to watch because we knew because as someone who's obviously who lived through that, I was a Peace Corps volunteer. I served him in many ways, serving the United States in Romania for 2 years. One of the signs you back behind me is actually signed by him, thanking me for my service. It's up there with my college degrees. I believe it's the one on the bottom. Yeah, my Peace Corps one is on the bottom, so it is in fact signed by Barack Obama. And so, unfortunately, that again hard to watch because of where it led to. We went from black president to, oh dear God, what the heck is that? And won't it be quiet now because nobody understands what he says to this day. But moving on. So that is the end of this video. Please check out these crash courses. I will leave the link to the entire, at all 3 videos that I'm doing, I will leave the link to the entire collection. You can check out the videos, you can check out their sources. They are connected with PBS Digital Studios, that is the public broadcasting system, so they are very reliable. They're also connected to the brothers Green, which is Mark and Hank Green, who do a lot for education, do a lot of great videos. I cover them. I cover various different videos of theirs all the time because they're reliable and they're great shows. I think I've covered Sideshow Kids and Sideshow, which is one of their science things, which is run primarily by Hank Green, who hopefully by the time you see this will no longer have cancer, at least be in remission. So check out the rest of the channel. I'm covering, besides obviously Black History, and yes, I do books as well, I'm also covering Women's History next month, the Titanic in April, because I want to. Asian history, specifically focusing on Angel Island, followed by, that was May. June, I'm doing Ellis Island. July, I'm covering women inventors. August, I'm covering food. I'm doing a deep dive in September into the Beauty and the Beast. I already did Cinderella, if you want to check that out, where I do cover the original stories, along with some of various other book-related stories, besides, obviously, the Disney films. I'm covering space in October, the Hindu festival of Diwali in November, and then I'm doing mysteries in December. The book series I'm actually covering this year involve finishing up Catherine Lasky's the Polar Bear series, which is a connection with the Wolves of Beyond and the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, which I have previously covered back in, would have come out in 2023. Again, this is being filmed in the end of July of 2023, so these videos should be posting. And then I'm doing an overview of the Animorphs series, which is very, very long, and I ended up like skimming through them at the end because time constraints. And then I'm covering the Anne of Green Gables series in great detail. followed by Boxcar Children, and then The Wings of Fire. So that's all that's coming up. In January, I covered I did an episode on swords and sword making, cheese, I think glass making, and I can't remember what else. I covered 4 things, and I can't remember what the heck the other one else is, and I have to look on my list. But again, you can check out those videos. You can check out my backlog. I covered Black American history at least 2 years in a row, and now I'm being meowed at. So, but be sure to check out the rest of my video collections, and like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one, and thank you.